With or without, we're going higher. Are we going to let these other countries be the leader, or are we going to be the leader? And I think that's really the decision they have to make.
I need to be honest and say that most of you just are not ready for 2025. There's a lot of things that are going to be happening in 2025 that we have never, ever seen before. To start out, this is Tom Lee, which is a crazy story, saying that exchanges literally do not have enough Bitcoin, and they may be the ones that are pushing the price below $100,000 for Bitcoin.
There's a lot of folks who don't want Bitcoin over 100,000, and some of it may be the exchanges themselves are concerned because there is a pretty low supply of Bitcoin available over the counter. So you have a supply shortage, and if Bitcoin makes a move above 100,000, I think there'd be a big chase.
So once there is an overwhelming amount of demand, which there will be in my opinion, exchanges will no longer be able to suppress the price of Bitcoin. When that happens, the price will go insane. And this is Mike Belshie, the CEO of BitGo, saying what could happen. And now that we have a cabinet and administration that is pro-crypto, whereas the last 4 years, they wanted to crush crypto.
Remember that for the last 2.5 years, we've had not just a regulatory environment that didn't want to help you. We had a regulatory environment that was actively trying to kill you. So all of a sudden, with that changing in the opposite direction, we're going to continue to see good gains next year.
And I believe him and think it's actually pretty astonishing that Bitcoin and altcoins did so well in 2021 when they were under the purview of an administration that literally wanted to halt all progress, innovation, and literally stop crypto in its tracks.
We expect to see in 2025 more companies adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet.
It's absolutely going to happen. We're talking with multiple clients right now about doing that. It's been a conversation for the last couple of years, but frankly, the regulatory changes make it a lot easier. Having ETFs available make it a lot easier.
So there are only a handful of companies that have added Bitcoin to their balance sheet, but there are more and more happening all the time that I'm seeing that I can't even keep track of. So as more and more companies realize that the best thing to do is to move your cash into Bitcoin, that is going to be a cascading effect that will add to the surge of the price of Bitcoin.
Blockchain and digital assets are being adopted faster than major revolutions before it, whether that's the internet or whether that's cell phones.
So that's pretty huge. And a lot of you guys already knew that, but the adoption of blockchain, crypto, Bitcoin is growing faster than the internet and cell phones, and that trend is not stopping, it's only accelerating. And before I talk about other countries buying and mining their own Bitcoin, I first want to mention that if you were buying $30 of Bitcoin a day over 7 years, 10 months, and 12 days, you would have invested $86,000, but your net worth would have been $1 million. So that is the power, without giving you guys a headache, of DCAing over a large period of time. And El Salvador has finally crossed 6,000 Bitcoin that they are holding. And this could be one of the greatest stories of a country completely changing themselves from their past to where they want to go in the future. Absolutely insane. So next, this is Anthony Pompliano. Take a look.
Owning Bitcoin is digital real estate. There's only 21 million that will ever exist. We know other countries are mining, buying, holding Bitcoin. And so are we going to let these other countries be the leader, or are we going to be the leader? And I think that's really the decision they have to make. Trump owns Bitcoin and crypto. JD Vance owns Bitcoin, I believe. There's a lot of people in the administration. You just go through all the different roles that they've appointed people. And so these are Bitcoiners to a degree, or crypto holders that are going into the office. They're likely to go ahead and buy it.
Do you have a 1-year target for us on Bitcoin, with and without the Bitcoin reserve?
With or without, we're going higher. I don't necessarily have a price, but I do think that if we go ahead and buy Bitcoin, what's interesting is we will not be the first country to do this. There's a lot of other countries who have already bought, they're mining, they're holding Bitcoin. What I do think is important, though, is America is the greatest capital market in the world. And so if America does it, it pretty much reduces all of the career risk, all of the critiques for all these other countries. Russia recently came out and they said, hey, we're mining Bitcoin, we're starting to use it in transactions. People are like, oh, that's Russia, we kind of don't like them. And so they're kind of in the corner. People look at El Salvador and they're like, that's El Salvador, I couldn't point it out on a map. Will countries now start to buy Bitcoin, not for price, not for the sovereignty, but actually as a sanctions hedge?
Russia.
And so Russia is actually doing that. Yes. Do you think they're the only one?
No.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Once the US adds Bitcoin to the strategic reserve, other countries will do the same. Other countries will follow America. And we know that Russia has been buying and mining their own Bitcoin for reasons that Anthony said, because they want to obviously have it appreciate in price, but also protect themselves against U.S. sanctions.
We see truly a lot of major multinationals putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet and that kind of thing.
I think it's conceivable, yes. And I think as we've started to see, over the last year and a half, a lot more clarity, probably outside of the US. I think there's obviously been a big spike in the valuations across the whole crypto suite, as we've seen since the US presidential elections. That obviously is driven by what we expect will be probably a more favorable regulatory backdrop, and that gives confidence to kind of the institutions more broadly.
So let me know in the comments if you agree with him as well. A better and a more favorable regulatory environment, will that allow and will that encourage more companies in the US to add Bitcoin to their balance sheet? You already know what I think. I think the answer is yes, but let me know in the comments what you think as well. So I hope you enjoyed this edition of Aaron is a Moon Boy. Well, if that's what this video shows, then so be it. But anyway, guys, hope you are well. Subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what you think about this video. Feel free to call me a moon boy. I don't care. Till next time, guys, talk with you soon, and bye for now.